TSRP viewers, family members, neighbors, and friends, welcome to the Coffee Hour. The Coffee Hour is a weekly program where I sit down with the most dedicated TSRP listeners, which are you guys, and we just discuss for an hour to 2 hours. It all sort of depends on how the chat is, the comments are, and I'll hop off whenever I feel like hopping off or until my coffee is finished. Now, my coffee just came out of my percolator and it is piping hot. So I got my percolator on standby, cooling down a little bit. And then I'm going to pour it into my cup right here for you guys to see the coffee that I'm drinking. I feel like that would be a fun addition to the show. It's something to discuss, throw it into the live chat. This show is completely fueled by your comments. It's free to do so. You guys do not need to super chat, though. Super chats are always accepted and appreciated, but I am not one of these live streamers out here begging for money. I was scrolling YouTube Live the other day, and I scrolled past one, and it was some dude drinking Sunny D. And he was like, whoever super chats the next $50, this bottle's dedicated to you. I'm like, I'm not doing that. That's too much. That is embarrassing. I would much rather spend my time here with you guys doing this. This is much more fun. Your sound is stuttering. Let's see. Rich is calling me. Hello. I'm having audio problems. Okay. All right. Let me look at it. All right. Apparently we're having audio issues, but I have the chat right here. Let's take a look and see what we got going on. We're having audio issues, but I have the chat right here. Seems to be all right on my end. But we have several people in here talking about. Yeah. All right. We're going to roll with it. If we continue to have audio issues, please send me a message down below, but it seems to be just fine. I did bump the video quality up, but that shouldn't impact the sound, but I can turn my microphone down, so everybody at home, just turn your speakers up. I don't want to oversound if I don't have to. It's okay now. Rich fixed it. Yes, Rich fixed it. He gave me a call, and that fixed the problem right there. They knew that Rich was calling, so yes. All right, let's dive into these chats. But, yes. All right. Let's see what's going on. Hello. Who's the snitch? Gentlemen, greetings from Scotland. How are we doing? The Scottish right now are very popular in making headlines, or at least they were in Massachusetts, because they were, drinking. They drank all the beer. They were partying it up in Massachusetts. And it was making the news. They were putting cones on statues. They were hitting on women. They were drinking our beer and stealing our women. These Scottish guys are animals. Get them out of here. Thank God. Scots are big in Boston. Thank God they're down in Miami. Miami, it's your problem now. We can't handle the Scots. I saw Instagram reels where there was a lady and she was like putting her ring on the camera. She's like, haha, when the Scots are around, my husband's whatever, something like that, right? And two Scottish dudes picked her up and brought her home. And I'm like, dude, hide your girls, hide your wives when the Scots are around. They're too smooth. The accents are too powerful for us Americans. We have to hide the girls. So fellas, if you're in Miami, get them out of there. Go take a trip up north or something. Get them, hide them. The Scots are going to take all your girls. But yes, okay. Good evening, C. Lynn. How are you? I treating podcast this morning. I believe there was probably a typo in there somewhere. But yes, it was an interesting podcast this morning. Maria Di Lorenzo was an excellent speaker. And one of my favorite guests to have on the show. She did an amazing job, and and it was a blast. So I had a good time. Let's see what we got going on. Shannon Holland, evening all. Ironically, we're speaking with a girl named Shannon McGivey tomorrow early in the morning before I go to work. And we're going to be discussing the Yuba 5 case. So thank you, Tony Wright. Shout out to Tony Wright for making that connection. But yeah, no, that will be a great episode. She does the Yuba 5 podcast. Andrea says, good evening. Hello, Andrea. Andre Atimers. I think that's Andrea. Better now. Awesome. Let's see what we got going on. The Scots are big in Boston. Yes, that's the Tartan Army for you. I know they were taking over the city. It was unbelievable. I'm not sure if that was really broadcasted in Scotland, but it certainly was broadcasted here. But yeah. All right, let's get some coffee flowing here. We got sort of a busy night. I got a busy night tonight, so I'm probably only going to be on for an hour or so. I don't think I'll be on for a long time. So if you guys have your questions, get them in now because, your time is limited. We've been on for already 8 minutes. All right, let's see what's going on here. Gary Ridgway did not age well. No, he did not. He did not age well. Gary Ridgway, I didn't know much about him. I had never heard of the Green River Killer. Prior to filming this episode, prior to reading Maria's book, which was unreleased, we got a ARC, an advanced review copy. And I got to say, it was a good book. As Rich said, it's a mature book. A lot of discussion about his sexual fantasies. And I think that the most common word in that book is sex because she's quoting him so often. That seems to be his driving motivation, his driving factor, what's fueling his life right now is discussing sex. So I'm not sure how he's aged over the past 2 years because this book really started to get written about 2 years ago from what Maria told us. And that was the end of her communication as well, too. So I'm curious to see how his mindset has changed. And I'm curious to also see if he's changed at all. But I was really into the psychology of Maria. Like, what was she feeling talking to Gary? I wanted to get inside of her brain. I wanted to get inside of her mind. I wanted to understand what she was thinking during that episode. Like, she started talking about her nightmares about Gary, and to me, that was most interesting. So it was a good show. I enjoyed it. Next week, we have Bob Cyphers, which we have already filmed. Bob Cyphers wrote the I-70 Killer. Bob's a great dude, and we're thinking about having him back on the show again to discuss his book, 25 Frozen, One Thawed. So I ordered the book. Bob has sent us a digital copy, and we're excited to see where everything goes. And I'm excited to read it. Charles Leachmore was Jack the Ripper. You know, where's Purse TV? I'm not quite sure. If you are a Jack the Ripper fan, I can direct you to Black Box Online Radio. My good friend Ned, him and I message on Facebook quite often. I want to do a JTR episode. I actually have a JTR painting. The problem with JTR is that he's so confusing. That case is so confusing. So it's like, I don't know where to start, you know? I want to have Black Box on, so we just got to work out the details. Also, it doesn't really seem like many people are writing Black Box content. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of his content getting written right now. So it's not like the Black Dahlia where like 3 books were written in like under a year. But I'm excited for future books that I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to oh my God, Larry Harnish's book on the Black Dahlia. I'm looking forward to Ryan Burns' book on D.B. Cooper. And I'm looking forward to Jeff Kelly's book, whatever it is that he writes. I know he did a lot about an armored car robbery. That should be a good episode. Anthony Moray has a book coming out on Brian Walsh. So I know that next year, 2026, will probably be a stacked lineup. It's only a few out of the 52 weeks, so it'll be a pretty stacked lineup. I always get nervous. Are we going to run out of guests? But every week, it seems like we get more and more and more and more. So I don't know if that's going to be a problem. But, yeah. What time are we shooting tomorrow? I believe it's 10 or 11, Rich. I will text you. I'm not quite sure. On and off stuttering your sound. Is my sound not good? What is going on? Why is my sound doing that? All right. Okay, if you will give me just a second here, guys. One moment. Alrighty, we are back. Sorry about that. Hopefully that fixed the issue. I just dumbed the resolution down on the camera, so the image quality may have died down a little bit, but we are back. Hopefully that solves the problem. All right, let's see what's going on. Someone says it's when I move my phone closer to the camera, but all right, let's see what's going on. I wonder how much Gary Ridgway knew about Maria. Did he know her last name? Age, where she lived. Wonder if he was able to investigate her online once he started speaking with her. Oh, I'm sure he had conversations with a lawyer or some phone call with family, and they sort of did like a check. That's sort of how information gets into prison. So I'm sure. Plus, she seems to be pretty popular amongst the prisoners, where she's always talking to convicted murderers. So it didn't get better. All right, let's see. I don't know. The sound, man. Nope, what? No what? It didn't? No what? I don't know what you guys are talking about. The chat is delayed. We're dropping viewers. Your sound good. Oh, no. We're dropping viewers, guys. It's okay. All right, what are we going to do? What are you going to do about it, Now Rich is texting me. Better now. All right, we'll see what happens. You know what? We'll just roll with it. It's cleaned up now. Yeah, I think it was the frame rate of the camera, to be honest with you. I don't know why that would make a big difference, but hey, I guess it did. Sir William Gull was Jack the Ripper. See, now we got like two different Edward Stowe. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Edward Stowe was Jack the Ripper, but Edward Stowe would be a good author to interview on Jack the Ripper. I will check him out, Edward Stowe. Let's check him out right now. Let's take a look. Let's see what he has to say. Stowe. At least I'll get it in my search history so that... Oh, there he is right there. Ed Stowe. Yeah. Oh, that doesn't look like him. That's like a fitness influencer. Perhaps it is him, but hey, whatever. We'll make it work. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll check it out. Cool. What else do we got going on here in the chat? His channel is the House of Leech. Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes. I've actually watched his content and I've wanted to reach out to him. I know exactly who you're talking about. I know that guy. Yeah. I will reach out to him because he does all Jack the Ripper content and he posts pretty regularly. Oh my God, as well. Actress Natalie Wood's death is a mystery. Would you consider a show? Natalie Woods. I don't know who that is. But there's no mystery I would shy away from, so I would definitely check it out. Yeah, Natalie Woods. Send me a DM or what do you want to call it? Or an email. You can find my email on the website. When you move your phone close to the mic, oh, that's weird. It's never happened before. But hey, you know what? I'll take the advice. Possibly it is happening. Love the Salem video. Yeah, the Salem video was very good, and the fact that Sarah and Josh both were descendants of Salem witch trial participants, some being accused, some being accusers. Josh was related to both sides of that, both sides of the coin. So it is certainly interesting. I'd like to like get everybody in the room together, like the family members, and like mediate a conversation to see like how everybody feels, like everyone's side of the story. I want to hear it all, you know. The Salem witch trials being so close to home, it's something we hear about quite often in school. Read the book, The Ripper and the Royal Fairlow. I will check it out. Read the book, The Ripper. Okay. There's another, Black Box Ned did a interview the other day with an author who wrote like a good introductory book, I believe is what he said. But I listened to his whole interview. It was like last week. I did it while I was swapping out my alternator on my car, because I do work on my car because I'm too cheap to pay someone to do it. I figured, hey, if it's manual labor, I can certainly do it. Plus, like, to swap it, like, to pay someone to swap your alternator is like $800. For me, you know what it costed me? It costed me a trip down to the cellar to get my tools, $45 on Rock Auto to buy the alternator, and then 2 hours of my time. And I saved myself $765 or whatever dollars. So, yeah, I liked it. Actually, no, I didn't like it. I'm lying to you. Allegedly too guilty. Good to see you. How are you? Do you think Gilgo Beach Killer's daughter knew about him murdering the woman? Her art was disturbing. Some people think his wife daughter knew. Is that the case right now that's going on, where he like killed like it was like he's like in trial right now, or he just got found guilty, right? Because I forget exactly what the name of the person is, but it's escaping me. But I reached out to a couple of people to try to get comment on that, but it just nothing ever facilitated. Can't wait for the Ask Me a Question on July 8th. Yeah, that should be good. Rich has got we're getting plans. So if you guys have Ask Me a Question questions for Rich, send me an email. I'm putting them into a document, and I will start with the document, and then I will go into the chat. So if you want to confirm that your question will get read and answered on July 8th, send me an email via, or send me a question via email or DM on Instagram. Or you can send a super chat, like $2, $3 or whatever it is at the time of the filming. Super chats will receive priority, but if like everybody's doing it, then I can't guarantee that everybody will get it. But if there's limited super chats, then you certainly will get your question answered. But yeah, no, we're hoping to make that a weekly show. Yes, Rex Human, what's the name? What's his last name? Hummermyth or whatever. Yes, that's exactly who. Yeah, that's exactly who I'm talking about. Yeah, he just got, I thought it was like humor mouth or something like that. Humor, dude, I don't know. There's so many crimes that we do. Sometimes I like get so many people confused because we're always looking at like arresting officers. We're looking at prosecutors, defense attorneys, witnesses, people's family. Like there's so many people that are in these books that names, like I'm just flying through names constantly. I often get confused sometimes. So it is what it is. But yeah, no, that's exactly the guy that I was talking about. He like killed like, what was it? Like 4 to 10 women or whatever it was. Right? Were they prostitutes? Dude, I'm mixing cases. It happens. You're going to look it up for, I'm going to look it up for us. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. 4 cracks, Hugh Bart, something like that. Yeah. I forget. But yeah, if you want to get your questions in, 8 women. Yeah, I knew it was 4 to 10, but yeah, no, it's 8 women, and he like buried them by the water or something like that, right? my laptop is updating faster than my phone is. Rex Humorman. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly who I was talking about. But I believe that he killed women by the water, right? And buried them by the water or put them in the water or something like that. Did Joel Waldman cover that case at all? Surviving the Survivor? You rich. I don't know. I don't read Jack's or I don't read Japanese. But comment. No, he tortured them in his house. They were prostitutes. He waited till his wife left, and then he would go on a rage. Yeah, I knew they were like sex workers or something. It's sad. You know, it's the oldest profession, but it's certainly one of the most dangerous. My advice, don't do that. Don't do that because you just don't know. I'm not saying that like it's their fault. I'm just saying that like it's such a like we just covered a case, Gary Ridgway, where this is exactly what he was doing. Because they're easy targets. By doing this job, you're putting yourself as an easy target. Plus, it's not good work. Don't do that. Like I don't think. Granted, men shouldn't attack women, right? Obviously, but I don't know. It's unfortunate. It's just a shitty situation. A lot of people think his daughter knew. I don't know enough about the case. Do you think it was easier to track a serial killer back in the Western days when less people, or modern days with more technology? Oh, modern days easier because back then they didn't have any form like it'd be like trying to track DB Cooper. It's like all you have is a sketch, you know. All you have to do is go get a haircut, shave your mustache, and you'll be fine. You know, grow a beard, change your hairstyle, change your facial hairstyle, and either gain or lose weight, and you'll never get caught. You know, because there's no fingerprints, there's no DNA, there's no photographs. Oh my God, I am exhausted today. Yeah, no, there's nothing. So it's like, right now it's way easier. Although there are less people, but I mean, if you have the identity of the person and you know who it is, it's probably easier to catch them because means of transportation is slower, and it's harder to get around. You know, like once you get on the train, there's only so many stops that you can go. But yeah, I mean, I'd say it's easier now because you have security cameras. Hi, Seth in chat. Looking sharp. Thank you very much, Alex. New suit. You like it? New suit. This is a suit, not a dinner jacket like I usually wear. Thank you. New shirt. New jacket. Same handkerchief. And my first time ever owning a French cuffed shirt. So now I have cufflinks. I never knew. Very long week for TSRP. I know I'm beat. I got out of the studio yesterday after editing the Gary Ridgway episode. I was working on the Gary Ridgway episode till 10 o'clock last night, doing website stuff. Yeah, and I was up that day. I was up at 3 a.m. It's funny, right? My alarm goes off. I told Caroline, I'm like, I'm going to bed. I'm waking up. I'm going to bed early. It was like 9 something. I'm like, I'm going to bed early and I'm waking up at 3. My alarm goes off at 3. It startles me awake. I roll over and Caroline's like, it's okay. And I'm awake. And I'm like, what is going on? I was like, what is happening? I got another sleep story for you too. I went on vacation last week. I didn't do a show last Sunday because I was sick. I went on a motorcycle trip with all my friends. And on Sunday, I came back and I was sick. I was lightheaded. I rode like 300 miles on Saturday. And I got back here and I'm like, I do not feel well. My voice was cracky and my nose was running. And my eyes were bloodshot. I don't know what it was, but I just was not feeling well. So I was like, nah, no show, canceling the coffee hour. Sorry, guys. You guys got extra content with the Eddie McNamara and the Ed Epperly show. So no coffee hour. But yeah, I was like dying. And part of the reason was because now, obviously, like I sleep, it's just Caroline and I in the house, right? And I've always lived with my mom, but I've stayed over my father's house, but we've always had like our own room. But I've never really like lived with other guys. I lived with my younger brother, but that's a younger sibling. I've never really like slept in the same house as like other guys, right? It's always just been me living with women. And I go to Maine with all my friends, right? There's like 10 of us all staying in this one house. And there's 4 of us sharing this like small area, right? There, it's like, all right, everyone get off the bikes, drink a little bit, eat, and then go to bed. And then wake up early for riding the next day. Now I'm already not feeling well. It's like 2 a.m. and I'm the only guy in the room that's not like snoring like crazy. So not only Sunday did I not feel well, my eyes were bloodshot. I was ill. I had a massive headache because my pipes just did not decide to be quiet. But now I'm having a hard time sleeping. I had to put my AirPods in because these like 2 dudes were just like snoring so loud. And they were like in sync. They were like, you know, like how twins and babies will like cry in sync. They were snoring in sync. And I'm like, bro, shh. I was trying everything. I was like, there's no cars outside. I can't go sleep in a car. And then I went to go upstairs, but I could hear the people upstairs snoring too. I'm like, dude, I can't get away from it. I can't get away from it. Oh, it was awful. And then I said to one of their girlfriends, I was like, Deb, how do you deal with that? And she's like, oh, I couldn't hear it. I wear earplugs and headphones. I'm like, bro, what? What do you sleep with earplugs? Oh, dude, every night? She's like, yeah, every night. I'm like, dude, you're a saint. I'm like, I don't know how you deal with that, but okay. Crazy. Oh, it was unbelievable. Let's see. We had a serial killer in Glasgow in the 60s. Press named him Bible John. He murdered 5 women. It was never caught. Ugh. No good. No good. I know. It's sort of like the Nancy Guthrie case right now. Like that's like the modern killer right now that's going on. Because it's like, I don't know if they'll ever get caught. Like we're living in like the next Black Dahlia, right? Like the Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie case. Rex is really freaky. He was an architect, a family man. No one had a clue. So unsetting. Talk about your double lives. Exactly right. Yeah, very true. Rex was very big, very tall dude. Yes. Billy the Axeman. We need to cover that he was very close to the Valinka murders. I'm researching that now. If you don't mind, send your research to me. I would love to read it because I don't know much about that case. He more helped people who remodeled and wanted to do new construction get through New York's red tape than he did creating infrastructure and buildings. Yeah. Rex's firm helped people get through New York's red tape. He wasn't actually making blueprints that someone used to build buildings, bridges, or something like that. All right. Rex was a huge man. He's interesting. I'm going to have to research and cover that story too. But I love it when you and Seth do the cases. Do you like it when we do the interviews, or do you like it when we just analyze the cases, or do you want to see both? Do you have a preference? Hi, Rich Little. My book idea: The Lost Diary of Lizzie Borden, like a fictional book. Very cool. You're stealing my idea. I had a diary book that I was going to write too. I'm in the process of it, actually. You're stealing my idea. Mr. Rich, how do I get my book to you? for you to sign. I bought one and my aunt borrowed it and she's not going to give it back. So I had to buy another one through Amazon, but it wasn't signed. Ooh. You bought a book, but it wasn't signed? All books should come signed. They just might not come personalized. They all should come autographed, though. Oh, that Nancy Guthrie case, I've been covering it, and I've been covering it from the beginning. I know who did it, why they did it. I just don't have the evidence, but I'm getting close. I hope you solve it. Both allegedly, you can say it if someone who knew her. Allegedly, can you say it if someone who knew her? Yeah, I like doing the me and Rich shows, but I also like doing the interviews. The interviews, I feel like we get more information to you guys. The other stuff is like very like on like the surface of the case. Because if we do an episode a week, it's hard to cover so much ground. You know what I mean? Especially if we're going to do both. It's even less time. Yesterday, we filmed with Bob Cyphers. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yesterday, we filmed with Bob Cyphers. Tomorrow, we're filming with Shannon McGivey. And then Friday, we're filming with the Santana True Crime brothers. The Santana brothers. Brian and Cameron on Murder on Campus, their book. So it's like we're doing like 3 episodes this week. And I got my coffee hour. And I'm trying to get another Q&A with like another author on like midweek for you guys. So I'm trying to like there's so much that we cover. Plus I got a second channel that I do political coverage as well for like the South Shore area that we live in. So it's like I'm filming like every day. So it's like I'm so spread thin. So I will certainly try to get more of those, me and Rich. We haven't done one of those in a minute. I think the last one we did was the Missy Bevers case. Am I wrong? I think that was the last one we did was the Missy Bevers case. I got to get a sip of this coffee. Man, I'm like about to yawn, dude. I'm like so tired. I went to the gym. I took a pre-workout. I don't know why. I am loving the tie clip. You're such a jazzy dresser. Do you know what the tie clip is? Well, I'll let you throw in a guess. What is it? Take your screenshot, zoom in, do your thing. What is it? Before I tell you, can you guess exactly what it is? But I'm a jazzy dresser. Thank you. I appreciate that. I know I just bought Get Closer. Well, if I get closer, then you're going to guess. Right? You're going to know what it is. Now you got to zoom in. You got to see what it looks like, right? Allegedly email me. I can sort out the signed personalized copy. Okay. Oh, allegedly is the name of the. Oh my God. I was like, allegedly, I was trying to use allegedly in Sealand's message. Allegedly, can you say if someone who knew? That's why it was confusing me. Because like you guys refer to each other as you guys' handles on the show. And I'm like, I'm like, sometimes it confuses me because you like, there's no punctuation sometimes. And I'm like, I read it as it is. And I'm like, All right. So I'll let you guys, because the show's delayed. So you had your chance to get your messaging in. I'm going to tell you exactly what the tie clip is, but you got to pause it if you don't want to hear and you want to send a message in. It is, I got to look. It is the Kennedy 60. Caroline. Caroline, come here. I'm going to have Caroline hold it up to the camera because like I'm like kind of like boxed in here with all the equipment. Just like kind of put this up to the camera, show everybody what it looks like. It's the Kennedy ship. She's going to put it up there. I'm not sure if it's focused in. Hold on, I can tell you. Back up. Maybe get closer to it. There you go. It's focusing now. It's the Kennedy ship. I bought it at a JFK trade convention a few years ago. My dad was with me. I forget what we were doing there, but it was like a history thing. It was pretty cool. But yeah, no, it's the PT 109, the boat. It's one of my favorite tie clips. not many people recognize it. Not many people mention it. But when people mention it, I appreciate it because it means that someone's actually like experiencing, like, it sounds so weird, right? Doesn't it sound so weird? But like someone's like experiencing me. Like, like when you're talking to someone and they like look right through you and like they're just not experiencing having a discussion with you. I noticed that with like, because I work like my office is in a high school. I work for government television, but our office is in the high school. They just built us in when they rebuilt the school, right? So we work with a lot of high school interns, and a lot of the times I'll be talking to a student and they are just like in their own world, right? And I'm like, listen to me. I'm like, listen to me when I'm speaking. You're not experiencing the conversation. You're not present. Like, so like when people mention like, I like your tie clip, it means that someone's recognizing that I put work into how I dress. So I appreciate that. It means a lot. Or like when someone comments on my watch, those are like things that I look for with other people. Like I don't have like a watch collection. I have a couple nice watches, but I don't spend like crazy amount of money on my watches. But I do have a couple really nice pieces. And when I went on that motorcycle trip last weekend, I was sitting by the campfire. I was talking to a guy that I've never met before. And we were just chatting it up, right? And I was like, Steve, Tyler. I was like, Tyler. He's like, yeah. I'm like, I like your watch. What is it? And he's like, oh, it's a Breitling. And I'm like, I knew it. I knew it was a high-end watch. I could just tell. And he was like, yeah, what are you wearing? And I was like, I'm wearing a Seamaster. And he's like, oh, no way. And I'm like, here, let's trade. Let me see yours. You can see mine. And like we swapped each other's watches for a minute, right? And I'm like looking at it. I'm like, so why did you pick the Breitling? And he's asking me why I picked the Seamaster. And he's like, oh, I work on boats. I work on yachts. And, like Breitling, the story of Breitling. He starts telling me all about the story of the company, about how they make luxury watches for like blue collar workers. Like that's the watch you should wear if you're working on a boat, and you're like a first mate or something, or like you're like an employee, or you're like a captain of the ship or whatever, right? Like everybody wears Breitlings. Now I just thought Breitlings were just flashy, thick, reliable luxury watches. I didn't realize that they were I didn't realize the story of the company. Now, I couldn't share that about Omega. All I was saying was I bought the Seamaster because I watched Casino Royale and I was between a Tudor or an Omega, and I wanted to celebrate the 20,000 mile mark in 1 year. So I was like, okay, I'm going to buy myself a new watch. So I was torn between the Seamaster or like a Tudor, like a Black Bay or whatever it is. And I watched Casino Royale and I'm like, Seamaster. I'm like, I got to go with it now. I'm like, because that's like so cool, right? Plus, I love it. It just looks cool. I love the back of the case. It's so cool. But it's nice. Like, so like, I know that he appreciated it because I was present in the conversation. I was experiencing his style and I made a point about it. And I appreciate that when someone says, I like your tie clip, or I like your watch, or soon to be cufflinks. I bought these cufflinks years and years and years ago, and they're one of the first times I've been wearing them. I've only worn these single digit amount of times because I just got this shirt. But yeah, no, I appreciated it a lot when we were talking about, and I appreciate you mentioning the tie clip too. And I see a message here from Reglook1. Tie clips are very important with a tie. They are very important. I have a tie pin. Not many people use a tie pin. Most people use tie clips or tie bars. The tie pin I have is a heart, and there's a small diamond in there. And it was the gift that my grandmother got my grandfather on their wedding day. Now, I obviously keep that locked up nice and tight. I wear it very often when I do these shows. If it matches, sometimes I'll wear both. Sometimes I'll wear a pin, and sometimes I will wear a tie bar because I like the accessories. And sometimes I'll also use it as like a lapel pin. But the problem is that it's in the shape of a heart, and sometimes it'll like move up and down and whatnot. And I'm always so worried about losing it. But yeah, I love that pin. And like, it's so sentimental to me. That's one of the things that, well, it would probably survive a fire because it's sterling silver and diamond. So grab, that's like one of the things I would try to grab because it's like, you're never going to get that again, but you know, yeah. All right, let's see what else we got going on. Wow, that's really cool. Now I'm embarrassed. I could have sworn it was an accident. Sworn it was an accident. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, are you guys talking about the pin? Probably the axe. I appreciate it when someone notices little details after all the devils in the details. After all the devils in the details. It certainly is, you know. Girls like it when you notice. Like Caroline and I just went out to a nice Chinese restaurant or Asian cuisine with my brother, my brother's girlfriend, Sam, and my grandmother. We went out to eat, the five of us, and my grandmother, I think it was, mentioned Caroline's highlights where some people like won't even notice them. So it you know, girls appreciate it. Like when girls get their hair done or whatever, or whenever my coworkers who are women get their hair done or styled a different way, I always make a point of saying, I like what you did with your hair this morning. It looks nice. Because not only is it polite, it's, you can use it as a tactical advantage, but it is just polite. And I think it's the gentleman thing to do is to experience someone, at the fullest, because then you pick up on little things. When you practice being present in conversations, a lot of people, or when you practice being present in conversations, you'll get further. And that's something that I think the younger generations have a hard time with. My generation in general, as a whole, I believe as well. There are so many times where I meet people. I have a friend of mine. I'm not going to put him on blast here because, you know, he works a normal job and I don't want to blast him. But like we'll go out to like a bar or something, you know, it's sort of died down now that we're getting older. But when we were younger, early 20s, Seth, is my email on the TSRP website? That's from Rich. No, it is not. If you message the contact form on the TSRP website, it'll go to my email and I can forward it to Rich. So if someone wants to get in contact with it, One Takes Adventure, what's going on? How you doing? But okay. Rose, what case is that? Sounds interesting. Okay, I'll get back into the chat. I want to finish what I was saying. But like we used to go out to like bars or clubs or whatever, and he would talk at girls. He would just talk at them. He wouldn't participate in a conversation. He would just talk at them and just like bury them with conversations. And I'm like, you gotta like have like a legit conversation, because then it shows that like you're an actual human. But like when you're just talking at someone, I hate that. When someone's just talking at me, it almost feels like you can just like get up and walk away and they wouldn't even notice. I try to be present in conversations with people, but I do often get distracted. It is what it is. You know, it's part of it. Let's see. Mr. Rich, what's your email? Again, I truly admire your intelligence, Mr. Rich Little. You and Seth are the most charming gentlemen on the internet. Besides Dr. Gary Brutcato, PhD, he's charming too. I don't know him, but maybe I should check him out. If you are giving him high marks, I'll have to check it out. What was the watch you were wearing when you were doing the Dracula series? I noticed it when you picked up the bottle of wine or the card in front of it. The watch. I did 2 Dracula episodes. Let's see. I have my YouTube streaming on my laptop right next to me, but I know exactly where they are on the show. They're very far down. Let's see. On the first one I did, I'll tell you exactly what that was. I feel like that was just a knockoff. I don't think I was wearing a watch in the first one, actually. Wow. How do you not wear a watch, Seth? Oh, wait, no, I was. What is that? What was I wearing? I wish I could like share the screen with you guys. But I'm like using a video switch. I don't have my laptop. Oh, that's my grandfather's watch. The gold one. That's my grandfather's watch. It's in the other room. It's a Seiko. It's a Seiko Solar model. I don't remember what it was. It was a few $100s. But when my grandfather passed away, one of the main things that I wanted to inherit was his watches, the tie pin, and other accessories as well. So that was what that was in the first one. The second Dracula Coffee Hour one was that I'm wearing blue, so I probably am wearing my Invicta watch, but I have a suit on in this one, so I can't really. Yeah, that looks like my Invicta that I don't really wear anymore because I have the Seamaster. The Seamaster, yeah. That looks like my Invicta, but you're probably talking about the first one where I was wearing the brown shirt. If that's what you were talking about, the brown shirt, or if I'm wearing the suit jacket. Yeah, I think that's the Invicta. Cool. All right, let's get back to the video here. Those Draculas are good episodes. You should check them out. What brand is your hat? Oh my God, I have a haircut story for you guys. I was so irritated with that. Biltmore. Biltmore 1917. Get them on Men's Warehouse. That's where I got it. Have you heard of the Bricks and Miami figures scandal? Mini figure scandal? No, I have not. We never see Caroline. I love the cufflinks. Tell Caroline we would love to see her at least put a picture of her up here, of her up there. Caroline? She's right here. That's Caroline. No. I do think that when David painted that, though, he did. Because, like, I see similarities in me and I see similarities in Caroline. So I have a feeling that he painted both of us in that. Because that was a commissioned piece. I asked him, I said, David, you have this painting called Ballroom Ghosts. I want you to make it for me. And, well, I'll tell you, the original is certainly not as cool as this one. This one is fucking excellent to look at. It is so cool. He's currently making me another commissioned piece. This one's taking a little while because it's such a detailed piece. I sort of felt bad after commissioning him for it because it's such a detailed piece. I was like, oh, he was telling me about it and I felt bad. I'm like, if it's too much, just scrap it. But no, he's plugging away at it. He's chugging along at it. But it's a Black Dahlia painting, Betty Short painting, and it's of her in the Biltmore Hotel the final day that she was there. And I have legitimate photos as to where she was. So he's doing like photo historic accuracy painting of this. So it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to definitely be a one of a kind. He hit me up the other day though. My friend David, his links are always are they in the description? If you guys want to check out their works. Yeah, artwork featured in the show, Classical Art Store. You can check it out. Let me see if the link works. Yeah, it does. There's some paintings in there, but then there's also prints. And if you guys like some of the artwork that's in the show, there are prints of it. He said to me, he was like, Seth, I hope you don't mind, but I'm like repainting one of the paintings that you have in your set that you bought off me. I hope that doesn't bother you. I'm like, she goes, because she didn't want a print. She wanted it an original. So I hope that doesn't upset you. And I'm like, no, it doesn't at all. Like, you do you. But I like the idea of him selling prints. I kind of wish he sold prints of that one, because then it's sort of like, people will have the print and go, wow, I wish I had the original. But I got the original. Same with the Betty one. If he's putting as much effort as it looks like he is into the Betty one, I hope that he sells prints of it, because I think that it'll do well. And I want people to know about the case. I want people to be interested in the case, and I want her to live on forever and ever and ever and ever. Beautiful, beautiful painting. What's his name? David Krolowski. If you go into my video description of this video, it's also in every single description. It's just something that I just copy and paste. But it'll say artwork featured in the show, and there's a link. It's an Etsy. I've probably made 5 purchases with him, but every time I purchase something, he's always like, Seth, I got this piece for you. Or I'll ask him, I'll be like, hey, if I want those 2 pieces, can you put together a package for me? Can you put together a price for the 2 of them, shipping included and stuff like that? Let me know what it'll cost. He's like, yeah, I'll just throw in the second one for free. You can have it. He's done that several times. And I'm like, dude, look at the customer service here. David, if you're watching, which you most likely are, you can repost this. Caroline, they're demanding that you make an appearance on one of the coffee hours. They're demanding. She says, okay. I don't know if she wants to. She works a serious job where she's a absolute professional. She has a professional degree. I don't know if she wants to dox herself, but yeah, no, she's a real person. She's a real person. She's here. She's a real person. I swear I'm not talking to the ghosts. I'm not talking to the artwork, although she is in the artwork right there. But no, she is real. Let's see. One Takes Adventures. How are you doing? I must admit, One Takes Adventures, I've seen a couple of your uploads and I have not watched them yet. I certainly will. I always like to follow along with what the community is doing, people who watch me. If you have a channel that you are uploading to constantly, let me know. I will certainly subscribe and watch your content and comment and join your lives. I try to do that with everybody. There was another one that I was watching, and I've never interacted with this person on their channel. They've certainly interacted with me. I gave birth to her. She's the real deal. Yeah, Sandy's there. Yeah, so that's the mom. But there's a channel, I forget what it's called. She's always in my comment section. Grave something. She does very similar content to you, One Takes Adventures. And I subscribed to her and I caught one of her live streams. And I was like on my way to the gym and I was just driving and I was like, I'll put it on while I'm driving, right? And just listen to it. But as soon as I started my truck, I typed in, hey, how you doing? Enjoying the live tonight. Something like that. And she was like, oh my God, Seth, you watched the show. That's so cool. And she got all excited. So I was happy about it. Yeah, Rich knows Caroline too. Rich is actually Caroline's former math professor, if you could believe it. When Rich came over to do his first show, his first and only show, Rich was going to come over and do one show. But then that show went super viral. It went super viral. When he came over, Caroline was like, why is my math teacher here? It was such a funny coincidence that it was just like, I don't know, it just worked out perfectly, you know? It was like, why is my math teacher from COVID here, you know? But it was fun. It was fun. But yeah, no, when I messaged her, she was like, oh my God, thank you, like, Seth, for watching. This is so cool. Like, and like, I like doing that. I like when people who support the channel, I can go back and watch their channel and it's fun, you know? I enjoy it. And it's funny too, like, you know, someone that I watch his name's Larry Harnish and he does Black Dahlia content. Now, some people have some people that I've had on the show and talked to have their own opinions on Larry, but I have nothing bad to say about Larry. He's very nice. He's very smart with what he does, and he knows his Black Dahlia case. And him and I had like a Zoom call, and we just sort of chatted, and it was just like, hi, I want to meet you and stuff like that. And he was very nice, and it was fun. And he introduced me to David Aranchak, and it was a good discussion. And we you know, hung out, and I had a really nice interaction with him. But it's funny, I went on to his live stream because I watched the content of the community. And I was like, hi, Larry. Hope you're doing well. Good to see that you're live. And, or something like that. And I had like 5 people in his comment section. Oh my God, Seth's here, Seth's here, Seth's here. And I was like, sweet. I'm like, all right, I'm getting some credit. I'm like, because when I ask him if he wants to hop on a Zoom call in 45 minutes after his live stream, maybe the fact that people in his audience who know who I am will give me some sway. And I think it might have. But yeah, no, it was really cool getting to meet Larry, and we had a really cool conversation. It was very, very, very fun and productive, and he's a nice guy, and I consider Larry a new friend. Rose, what case is that? Sounds interesting. Rose. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Let's see what's going on. You might be in Boston, but you have got to try some Italian. But you got to have some Italian in you. You move those hands just like we do in the storytelling. You know, I might have some Italian, but I'll tell you exactly what I am. I am Cuban, Spanish. Cuban and Spanish. My grandmother's families originated from Cuba. In the 40s, 50s, and 60s, they came here. They have a very Spanish name, have the accent in it. They roll their R's in their name. So very Spanish, very Cuban. And my father's side of the family is from at the time, the Soviet Union, modern day Ukraine, but at the time, Soviet Union. So I am, and then my grandfather is German, heavily German. And I guess some Italian, but German, Russian, or Soviet. German, because it was Soviet at the time. German, Soviet, and Cuba. So I always joke around saying that I'm like a full-on communist, which I'm not. I'm very patriotic. I'll be celebrating the 4th of July. And yeah. So that's what nationality I am. I might be some Italian. I'd have to ask my mom. But yeah, no, I do move a lot. But you also gotta understand too. What I am looking at, I have a light right there on a tripod. I have a light right there on a tripod. And I have a camera with a monitor, and I'm looking at myself. I'm literally looking at myself right now. And I just have a lens that looks like an eyeball, and it doesn't blink. So it's like, to entertain myself while I'm doing this, I need to move around. Plus, if I sat there like this, you probably would get bored of it. So I gotta be entertaining. I don't know if I'm entertaining. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I am. Whatever. He wrote the New Evil Dr. Gary did. New Evil Dr. Gary did. He's really good about coming on podcasts. He wrote New Evil. Can you send me an email allegedly? Could you do that? The contact form on my website. Just send like the book so that I don't forget it. It fit the suit you. What? What happened? Wait, what? It fit the suit you. There's got to be a spelling or typo error in there. Did you have a high school class ring? No, I wanted a class ring really bad, and I still want one. But no, I never got one. I don't know. Am I a ring guy? Do I wear rings? I've never worn rings. I have rings, but no. I wish I had my grandfather's ring, but he lost that in a diving pool in Germany when he was stationed over there during the Vietnam War. He went diving in, jumped into the pool, the deep end, and the class ring fell off. So no, I don't have a class ring. I want one. Maybe I should get one. Fork. Siri cut me off. Anyway, it was one that looked very antique. It was gold. I have an Invicta. They're nice watches. Yeah, I have a few Invictas. I'll tell you right now. So the Invicta that I was wearing in that Dracula episode, it was like $50. I think I bought it at Old Orchard Beach in Maine, and it was like $80 there. And I bought it like on the pier, and I wanted a new watch, and I had some money, so I was like, screw it, I'm buying a watch. But one of my favorite watches, it's not one of my favorite watches anymore, but for years, it was my favorite watch. I've owned 3 of them because they've kept breaking. It's an Invicta. It's an automatic Invicta, which is extremely rare because they're always quartz, right? And it's a Star Wars watch, but I love it because it's an automatic. And that watch is very stylish. It's It's just enormous and it's huge, right? It's like a 42 millimeter. My Omega Seamaster is like a 38 or a 36 millimeter. It's a small watch. It's not big at all, actually. It's very small. Bad thing about the French cuffs is that you can't really see it. But yeah, no, yeah. All right, what else do we got in the chat here? I still have my high school class room from the same high school that I teach now. Oh, you have your class ring. There you go. I have my varsity jacket, though. I do have my varsity jacket. Beautiful, beautiful painting. What's his name? Okay, we've gone over this. Good one, Sandy. I was Caroline's math professor. Barnabas, thank you for the super chat. Hello, I'm late. It's quite okay. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. I hope New Hampshire's treating you well up there. Enjoy it. I just came back down last weekend. Flow state for 200. What? What are these joules thing? Sent flow state 200 joules. I don't know. What are joules? What are joules? Yes. Are you the Southern girl? There's a few Southern girls. I was talking to one yesterday. She says, I'm gonna have to start typing because Siri is just not understanding the word Southern. All right. I was talking to a girl yesterday in the comment sections, and she's like, I'm a Southern country goth girl. I'm like, I didn't know they made those. I didn't know that was like an option. I thought you just had goth, country. Like, it's just like music, right? It's like alternative. No, I'll take regular. But it was like alternative, rock, metal, country, classic, right? Like, I figured that it was the same. Like, with girls, right? I figured it was just goth, classic, country, basic Starbucks girl, stuff like that, right? Like, I figured it was like, I didn't realize that like you could cross, genres like that. I didn't realize that you could be how does that work? If you're a goth country girl, do you wear like goth country cowgirl boots with like black ripped jeans? Like, how does that work? Because when I think country girl, I have a very particular image that comes into my mind. And that's usually like dark blue jeans, brown boots, red flannel that's like tied at the hip with like a black tank top and like curly blonde hair with like a hat. How does like that turn into like a goth version? I'll have to like ChatGPT create an image so that I can see exactly what that looks like. Because like when I think goth, I think like, or maybe I'm thinking emo. Dude, there's too many. I don't know, man. I just, I'm going crazy. It's okay. All right. I was Caroline's math professor. That was quite a few years ago. Yes. Sorry I'm late. Hubby was at our local gas station and there was a gunslingers incident. Crazy. Gunslingers? Like the motorcycle club? Because there's a motorcycle club called Gunslingers. I used to be like in the club scene. Now, no. Now I do this. I prefer to do this. I am no longer a member of my former group, and I appreciate simplifying my life. I like dressing up in nice suits. I like collecting nice art. I have art all over the house from all different painters, all different artists. And I enjoy being who I am. And I don't like I'm an introvert, not an extrovert. I know like being on YouTube might be like an extroverted thing to do, but I have like severe social anxiety. Like anytime I have to go do something social, I hate it. Right? But yeah. I'm surprised you're not that far off, except my boots are black with goth crosses on them. So you must be the person that I was talking to yesterday, are you? But am I wrong? Okay, I looked up the send jewels. It says that subscribers earn jewels and can send them to creators. Each jewel is worth 1 cent, so I guess you just got $2. Barnabas with the $12 super chat. Very cool. Okay, so yeah, you are the person I was talking to. Nice, awesome. Cool, so yeah, hype the video, send your jewels, like, share, subscribe, and comment. There's not too much to ask. No, it sort of is, but hey, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Allegedly, my email is in the book inside cover page bottom. Oh, okay, there you go. Very cool. Let's see. I should probably like the super chat. There we go. Great. Any day now, it'll be. What? Okay. I'm going to have to just start typing because, yep. Let's see. Where am I? I'll email a picture. Thank you. All right. Where are we in the chat? These were like 4 guys beefing and pulled up at the gas station, all pulling guns, all customers huddled in storage room, back doors totally boarded up. That's crazy. I'm an introvert that presents as an extrovert. Yeah, so am I. Like I don't like social situations. I used to be very extroverted around new people. But like when I'm around people that I went to high school with, even now, people that were like total losers, have done nothing with their life, unemployed, nothing to show for the past 8 years of being out of high school. I'm still so social. I have so much anxiety around those people. I don't know what it is. But you put me in a room around people that I don't know, great. Like it's fine. Unless I know you. Unless I'm also really good with like people who are a lot older than me, people who are in their 40s. I communicate better with people that are like 40 and up. If you're 40 and up, I'm a much better communicator than if you're 40 or that if you're 39 and below. If you're 39 and below, I'm a terrible communicator. I get nervous. I don't know why. But if you're 40 and up, I do just fine. It's easier for me. I have a hard time relating with people my age. I certainly do. Like I'm very much like that. Like all my friends that are my age, all they care about is going to find girls at bars, over drinking, smoking weed, all things that I don't do, right? I will certainly enjoy a cigar and a vodka soda on my deck. I will certainly do that. Or a beer and my laptop sitting outside working by a fire or something on like my outside couch. I will certainly do that as well. I'll enjoy that. But like, I don't know, like nowadays I'm just so done with, I guess, acting like I'm in my early 20s. I'm not. So I don't know. I have a hard time being around people my age because I feel like I'm matured faster than they have. And it's always been that way, even throughout school, like high school, middle school. I don't really have much memory before that, but middle school and up, I always did very well with people that were much older than me. Even now, same. Like when there's people my age, I have no interest. I don't want to be there. I'm notorious for just like if I'm at like a local tavern, pub, bar, whatever, and like we walk in with all my friends, 5 of my friends or whatever, and there's like 1 million people. It's like high school reunion. I'm just notorious for just leaving. I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing here? And I'll just dip out. I'll just go home. People will be like, yo, where did you go? And I'm like, I just wasn't into it. I'm out. Bye. Sorry. That happens all the time. Were you popular in high school? A wallflower, a drinker, smoker, druggie? What is a wallflower? No, I was not popular in high school. I was very quiet. I was one of the best in the state at cross country and track. I was one of the best. I went to states and all states every single year. I went undefeated in my league at home. I never lost a home race. I was a very, very good athlete when it came to track, field, and cross country. But I just was not a talker. I was my entire high school years, I had a girlfriend, so I wasn't actively pursuing relationships with my peers. And I just didn't put myself in situations to meet my classmates. So like there were parties and stuff like that, like end of the year parties where you'd see 50 of the high school boys would go to. I'd be like one of 10 that just didn't go. And it's just because I just didn't know these people. I don't have these people on social media, though now they follow me. I don't follow them back. And these people, I don't have these people on like Snapchat or Instagram or whatever, Facebook. I just don't follow them. I just have no interest in it. Wallfall are quiet. No one but your friends knew you existed. I certainly existed because my name was in the announcements very, very frequently. Because of the athletics and stuff like that. But like even like team dinners, team events, I didn't go to team stuff. I was very independent. I didn't want to associate with people near me. I did my thing at the studio that I now work at. And that was it. I was very close to some teachers, some not so much. But I had a hard time with like group projects. I was just, I've just always been that way. But as soon as I got into like hanging out with family or whatever like that, just total character change, 180. It was totally different. Yeah, I don't know. It was like I had like 2 friends in high school and we played PlayStation together. Hello from the UK. It's going to be late in the UK. I hope it's not raining over there. UK, how are you doing? Hodge pigs. Everybody here is gonna pull out theirs. That's crazy. Guns, bro. I've never seen guns get drawn. Did you go to New Hampshire on the bike? I certainly did. We went up on Saturday morning. I filmed Friday with Maria, and then we went up Saturday morning. I filmed a lot of it on my Meta glasses too, which were pretty cool. And then, there we go. We did the whole thing. I got ill in New Hampshire. I was sick. I didn't feel well. That's why I didn't do a show last Sunday. Because I just didn't feel well. And then, of course, Caroline's like, do you want to go out for ice cream? So that video that I posted today of me playing with the cow was from last Sunday at like 8 o'clock at night or whatever. I didn't feel well. My eyes were like all bloodshot and whatnot. I was like, nah, I'm all set. And then Caroline's like, let's go out for ice cream. Caroline loves ice cream. It's one of her favorite snacks. She's a ice cream girl for sure. How can I blame her? I love ice cream too. I don't know about everybody on here, but I get on better with animals than I do with humans. Yeah, certainly, right? Yes. Yeah. Well, animals don't judge you. They just love you. Right? Caroline has a bunny that lives under the deck. It's not like a pet bunny, it's a wild bunny. But now we have baby bunnies running around the yard. And Caroline was all sad because the baby bunnies were running around the yard, not by choice, but because they were getting chased by squirrels this morning. It was a bunny dilemma, so much the fact that Caroline then wanted to go out and cook breakfast on the grill, the Blackstone, to protect the baby bunnies from getting harassed by the squirrels. Drinker, smoker, druggy? Nope, never really. I mean, I drank a little bit in high school, like up until like my sophomore year, but no, I've never really done hard drugs. I never really smoked weed. I did for a little while when I was like 21, but I just got sort of done with it. Probably a lot like me. I know where every exit is my back is to the wall and I am watching everybody around me. If I don't know you, I'm automatically thinking, what's up? I'm the same way. I don't trust people, especially after what I do on the channel, learning about how these crimes went down. How can I trust people? Plus, I already suffer from like a very minor form of PTSD from a prior living arrangement where I had credible death threats daily. I've gone into it in prior episodes, but yeah, it was a serious 2 years of my life. 2 years was a very long time, and you don't really realize how crazy it is when you're living in it. But now that I'm not living in it, it was insane. Like having to, like, okay, my upstairs neighbors were drug users. I was living in a duplex. They were drug users. And when they were on their drug benders, they would do it for a week, right? It would be 5 to 7 days straight. And then they'd take a couple of days off and everything would calm down and be normal. But when they were on their drug bender, that's when the death threats got crazy. They would constantly plot in the hallway outside my door, verbally about how they were going to break in throughout the night and stab me in the heart with a knife. Like they were going to run a heart through my knife is what they said. And the reason being was because I was the oldest male. Like I said earlier in the show, I've always lived with primarily women, my mom and or girlfriends or whatever. I've only lived with my brother as far as another guy, really. That was about it. But yeah, and they said that they would take me out first because, you know, I'm the oldest guy, licensed firearm. I have a license to own firearms and concealed carry and stuff like that. And I own several firearms. I'm a very good instructor, by the way, a very good teacher. Caroline's actually a sharpshooter too. But she's got a sharpshooter badge, marksman's badge, pro marksman's badge, whatnot, a bunch of other stuff too. But yeah, for like 2 years, they would constantly discuss like out loud about how they would kill me. So much to the point where I'd put cameras inside my house all over, like obviously not like in like the bathrooms and stuff like that, and not in like my brother's room or my mom's room, but like in the living areas, like the living room, the kitchen, stuff like that, right? Hallways. I put cameras out there, and the reason was for two things. One, it was for prosecutors when they attacked me, and two, it was for monitoring. Because one of the things that they said was that they were going to break into the house when they heard the shower turn on and I was alone, or at night or whatever. So what I did to counteract that was I put a camera that faced both entryways into the house, and it had the bathroom door visible. And I would pull up on my phone or an iPad, and I would watch that camera live. But I would shower within the corner, like where normal people put like their soaps and stuff like that, their shampoos. I had my AR-15 with hollow points right there, or my 12 gauge semi-automatic shotgun right there. And because they would say that they would come in and they would just run a pitchfork through the friggin' shower curtain 4 or 5 times just to take me out. And I lived with that daily. You know, I shower daily like a normal person. So every time I showered, I felt like I was going to get attacked. So I had to monitor the house, because if I saw them come in, then I knew it was game time. And that's a very stressful thing. And I still have habits to this day that I just can't break. I can't go to sleep without doing certain things to make sure I'm safe. It's very strange. Yeah, it was a very stressful 2 years, year and 3/4, year and a half, whatever it was. Crazy. It was a very crazy time. Caroline knew me at that time too. She experienced it. It was wild. Police at my house daily, because every time they got into those like talking fits, I just called the police. I'd just be like, yeah, I can hear you. You know, it was insane. It was insane. Let's see. It's okay because you are beautifully put together here on your podcast, and you are very intelligent, as Caroline would say, as we all would. Brains over popularity. Yeah, I know. I take being intelligent over popular. Because like I look at it now, like all the popular kids, what are they doing? Nothing. There was a tournament in my high school called Speedball, where it was like a mix of like soccer and dodgeball. Like they'd mix it together or whatever. Soccer, dodgeball, hockey, like all that stuff, right? And it was a game that I'm sure we copied from somebody else, but it was very popular amongst the school system, right? It still is. And they did like a fundraiser tournament, speedball tournament at the end of the year to generate money for a scholarship, right? For seniors and whatnot. And I really like started to understand like popular versus like, or extrovert versus introvert social dynamics, like to the extreme. So extreme extrovert, extreme introvert social dynamics that around the 2022 year, when classmates of mine who were 22, 23, 24, some of them were even 27 years old, still coming back for this tournament because it was open to the public. And they'd come back to the tournament and they would literally argue with 14-year-old kids on the basketball court playing this game. And they would take it so seriously. They'd spend weekends practicing, renting out the YMCA gym or whatever. And I really started to understand the social paradigm, the dynamics between extreme extroverts like myself and extreme introverts like myself and extreme extroverts like them. Maybe I'm not extreme. I was on the border of introvert extrovert, but I could sort of see it. And I'm just like, because when you get to the extreme extroverts, especially in young men, I feel like they have a hard time maturing, you know? And they would eventually, several of them got banned from that tournament for arguing with 14-year-old kids. And it was just insane to me. Good night, Rich. Good night, Just Planting Around. Take care. Good night, allegedly. I will see you guys all later. So that was a huge wake-up call to me. Like seeing people that I went to school with, like part of their year, like it was almost like summer vacation to them. Like something that was like so important was this high school scholarship game that you're playing against the 14-year-old soccer team. And these guys are 29 years old, pushed nearly 30. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like I went there because I was working that day. I was actually working that day. And I went there to go down to see like what's going on. And I see people that I went to school with, they have big neck beards and their beards are all unkept and their hair is a mess and they look like shit, you know, and they got stained shirts and stuff like that. Their team name was the Thunder Donkeys and the shirts are too tight because they made them in 2019 and now it's 2022. And it's just, to me, it's just like, I was sitting there looking at it and I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, what do you guys, they're the same people that make drinking Instagram bars every week and they are just posting themselves getting shit-faced and trashed on the internet at 25 years old, 27 years old. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? You know, obviously these people are much older than me because I'm that age now. I'm 26 now. But these were people that I went to school with that when I was a freshman going into high school, they were graduating or had just graduated. And I knew them because they were still going to the football games that I was working at, like covering for media coverage and stuff like that. It's just not how I would spend my time right now. Like I said a few weeks ago, I got 100 books to read, you know, Faye Dalton, I still have to read the book that you mailed me. I've got literally 100 books to read. I've got 5 languages I need to finish learning. I got to continue learning Spanish. I got to start ancient Greek. I got to learn Italian. I got to learn, you know, whatever, right? Latin. I got all these languages and books that I have to read and learn. I got cases that I got to solve. And I have a YouTube channel, 2 YouTube channels that I'm running. I'm trying to get my foot in local government. Like it's just so much that is on my mind. The last thing at this age that I would concern myself with is a 14-year-old speedball tournament. And to me, it just blows my mind. And they ended up shutting down the tournament because too many people were coming back. And the kids that this was actually benefiting were scared to join because they were like, you know, in hockey, how you'd hit them into the boards and they'd go flying. Like, this isn't on ice. Like, this was at a basketball game. And like kids were getting like teeth knocked out because of that. Like a 27-year-old would body a 15-year-old into the boards and like teeth would come out. Like, it just blew my mind. And I was like, I can't be around this. I'm like, I got to get away from it. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe that's average for 25-year-olds to do, but to me, it's like, there's so not what I would do with my time. You know, there's so much more. Like, I feel like there's a purpose, you know? Ooh, who knows? My friends call me a hard ass, and hey, maybe I am. It is what it is. I'll take the label if that's the case. I will take the label if that's what I am. I will not deny it. Let's see what's going on. I'm so old. There was no pot when I was in high school so long ago. I didn't know squirrels chased bunnies. Were they playing? I don't know. Caroline, were the squirrels playing with the bunnies? The bunny looked scared. It was a baby bunny. You could it was like this big. Like, you could just hold it like that. It was the cutest thing ever. I'll take a picture. I'll put it up on my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you have it. What's that, Caroline? I told them about the bunnies. She's wondering how you guys know about the bunnies. Well, obviously, because I told you guys about the bunnies. Caroline is a animal lover. She loves animals. She loves the companionship. I don't know. Always having a blast when you're doing this coffee time, but I'm going to have to go get dogs, animals fed, you know. But I will see you on the next podcast. All right, allegedly, you have a good rest of your evening. Seth, will you tell us your experience when you're first getting authors on the channel? Will you tell us your experience when first getting authors on the channel? Certainly. Sorry, I'm just reading some of the back messages. All right. Yeah. First authors or guests? What was the question? Getting authors on the channel. I got to go on the website. Who was our first author? Was it Cara Robertson? I think it might have been, I put my coffee in the worst spot. I think it might have been Cara Robertson. Darren Schaefer. Then we went to Eric Eulis twice. Then Cara. All right. Yeah. Wasn't Rich your first author? Well, Rich was my first author, actually. That's right. But at that point, actually, no, Rich was not my first author. Was he? Dude, I don't even remember the early content of the show. I don't remember how it went because we did my interview with Josh Brown, who's a semi-pro bodybuilder who I'm friends with. How did it go? When Josh Brown, then I had State Senator Keenan, then I had Matt Warner, then I had Rich. All right, so Rich was officially my first author. Then we had Rich again, then Lenny Lashley, Rich. Then we had Ron. Yeah. All right. So my first show with Cara was my first author 9 months ago. And I started watching like the Jack Neal podcast where he would sit down with experts and sort of go over it. And I wanted to create more Lizzie content, but I didn't want to keep repeating myself. Excuse me. I didn't want to keep repeating myself because that's not going to benefit you guys. If I just keep giving you the same information, you guys are going to get bored. You'll unsubscribe and you're going to be like, what's the point of watching a 1 hour and 30-minute show if it's the same stuff I've already heard a million times? I don't want to do that. So I was like, you know what? We'll open it up for conversation. We had Cara. Then we had Eli. Eli's company, I don't remember the name of the publishing company who posted Eli's book. But 2 ladies messaged me. director of marketing and a agent, I believe. They said, "Hi, Seth. We saw that you've done some Black Dahlia content that was successful. Would you consider having Eli on your program?" I said, "Certainly." So we had back-to-back authors. We had Kara, then Eli. And Eli's thing did 331,000 views and Kara's did 11,000 views. And it was really good. So I enjoyed having the authors on. Plus, if I read the books, I'm doing two things at once. One, I'm creating content, and two, I'm furthering my knowledge on the case. Where it's like, I'm looking at like some of the upload history here. Like Ted Bundy. That was a good episode. I don't remember anything from that episode. But I can tell you about Eli's book because I read the 350-page book, right? So I like doing the authors. And when I messaged Kara, I messaged her through her message board. And it's funny too, Rich was like, "I'm nervous. I don't want this to be like a hostile encounter. I want this to be relaxed." And I was like, no, I don't think this will be hostile. I don't think it'll be hostile. And it turned out to be a very pleasant experience. We both read The Trial of Lizzie Borden. It's a very, very good book. If you're interested in the story, I recommend watching it because it was a great read. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah. Let's see. I never smoked. It's never smoked. I was always too busy. Yeah, I know, right? It's called Booby Trap. Seth, put some pots and pans in front of your doors. Trust me, they will make noise if someone comes into your house. I will have a complete security system. I have a complete security system. Yeah, same. So do we. Security system and alarms. And then you also have to deal with me as well if you break in. Do you and Caroline need a bodyguard? I might look so sweet, but I do know how to be a monster to protect those that need protecting. Not at this time. I don't think I need a bodyguard just yet. We're not famous enough. Good night, Rich. Good night, friends. Take care. Good night to all y'all. Time to be safe. Good night. It's that time. Be safe. Hey, has Rich ever visited the Lizzie Borden house and cemetery? He certainly has. And we have definitely have plans to visit the house because, it'd make great content. I've never seen it. And that would sort of be like an amazing piece of show that we could produce. Yeah. But, all right, guys, I've been live for about 90 minutes. My throat is beginning to get sore, and we have a very busy day tomorrow. So I'm going to log off. I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. I hope you've enjoyed this coffee hour. I'm looking at getting more coffee hour stuff coming to you guys. Be sure to tune in for Rich's program on July 8th, which is a coffee hour live stream. That'll be a 45 to 60 minute show. So get your questions in early. Super chats get priority of all questions. So if you send a super chat the day of, that'll get priority over everything. But you can also send me an email to get your question in at the top of the list. I will put that on a document. Rich will be on camera, but I will be off camera with a microphone, and I will be reading the questions to Rich into the microphone so that you guys can hear. Rich will be on camera, the only one on camera, and he will respond in kind. So with that, yeah. And we're also looking at doing a Yuba 5 show, a Yuba 5 live show. Ed Epperly's offered to come back on, which he's like one of my favorite guests. Love Ed. He's awesome. Possibly Eli. He's expressed some interest in doing it. And even Sarah Farr. Maybe Sarah Farr would be interested in coming back onto the program. She was really cool. I want to do another show with Sarah. I got to see how she's doing. She's one of my favorite guests. She's so animated. She's like all over the place, right? Talking and stuff like that. Cat jumping up. You see the cat tail going like this. She was just fun to film with. It was, I had fun. A lot of the times I'm stressed out if things start going awry, but she was just fun. Like things were going wrong with that show. Like internet connection was dropping, whatever, but we just rolled with it. It was just a good time. I'm looking forward to her book. But with that, have a good night. Have a good evening getting my question ready for Rich. Yes, send it to us below or send it to us on email, contact form on the website. That's the easiest way to do it. Goes directly to my phone. I will see you guys all very, very soon. Stay tuned July 8th for the Ask Me a Question. Next week's show on Sunday is going to be Bob Cyphers. I also have an updated version of Jeff Kelly's episode coming out midweek. Check it out on Wednesday. The $1 million FBI heist. That should be really, really good. So check that out on Wednesday at, what do you want to do? 9 a.m. or 7 p.m.? 7 p.m. didn't really do so well with us the other day, but maybe we'll do 9 a.m. That seems to be our sweet spot. That's sort of like what we like to do. So I'll put it up at 9. How's that? All right, guys. Stay tuned. Take care. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And enjoy the 4th of July as well. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.